Okay, welcome everybody to this version of why realtors should use BannerSeason. My name is Jim McCord. I've been licensed for 27 years. About 22 months ago, I started using a company called BannerSeason, and it truly changed my real estate business. And I'm here today to speak with a relatively new realtor, Steve Angeline. And Steve, rather than me give your background, I just met you yesterday and this morning over a phone call and over Facebook. I'm going to let you take it away and just give us a little bit about your background and how and why you got into real estate.
Sure. So I'll make, since we just met, I'll give you the correction. It's Steve Angeline, but don't worry about it. I'm called a lot worse. So I was running my own company for 38 years, and that company was importing custom baseball hats from China. A couple of years ago, my oldest son took over that business, and I essentially retired. My youngest son at that time, 23 years old, announced that he wanted to get into real estate, and my wife of 35 years said, "Dad'll do it with you." And here I was just trying to finally get to understand how to use the clicker, okay, with the smart TV. So I got into real estate exactly 2 years ago. I got my license in August of 2018, and we immediately, my son and I, started calling, because that's what you're taught as a realtor: cold call, cold call, cold call. We called 20,000 people a month, 2 triple line dialers. We did that for 3 months, 60,000 phone calls. I had probably 600 meaningful conversations, so 1%. And out of the 600 meaningful conversations, I had no listing appointments, no appointments at all. And I said to myself, I got 38 years of sales experience, and this is what I'm doing. And I did some research on it, and I found out that this is what realtors are supposed to do. And for the first time in being a business owner, I felt terrible. I felt scummy. I don't want to disparage used car salesmen, but I felt terrible. And I decided there's got to be a better way to do this. So I got hooked up with a group called FSBO Domination, run by Brandon Mareni. And Brandon taught me some things on how to go after FSBOs. Well, he teaches cold calling too. So I decided to do that a little bit different, and we started going to FSBO open houses instead of calling them. And went great. Last year did big number, over $5 million in sales, our first full year. So then COVID-19 hit, and there's no more open houses. So Brandon taught back in January, I believe, maybe February, about this new system called BannerSeason. And he did an interview with Jim online, and Jim had his book. And I said, well, I'm going to get the book. And it talked about, Jim talked very heavily about customizing his product to put the picture of the house on there. So long story short, I dove headfirst into BannerSeason. And this would have been now right when COVID-19 was hitting, so beginning of March. And I immediately started learning the process, doing the process, and setting people up on a drip campaign for realtors. And it has been extremely successful. What do I mean by extremely successful? Last 7 days, I've gotten 3 listings for 1.9 million. In July, picked up 3 other listings, and in June picked up 2 listings, all from BannerSeason, using the products on BannerSeason. So talking to Brendan, we have about 400 people in our group. I asked him, what do you think in our group, the people that don't like the cold call? And he said, out of 400, probably 350. And I says, wow, so you think only 50% are calling consistently? He says, oh no, there's probably 10 calling consistently. There's probably 40 more calling sporadically, and 350 doing no calling because they have anxiety. They're afraid. So that getting together with Brandon, circling back to Jim about BannerSeason and using BannerSeason. So Brandon got me to sign up as a, I don't even know all the lingo, I guess a referral partner. Is that what it's called, Jim?
Or your gold package and referral partner, correct?
Yeah. And so, you know, I got that all signed up, and I'm starting to sign up other realtors, because if you call realtors to do BannerSeason, it's a home run, because probably 90% of them don't like to call. And this is why BannerSeason is just a really great thing. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, that's phenomenal. And I want to ask you, I want to go back to a couple things. First off, we have some realtors on here, and I'm recording this, so a lot of realtors are going to see this.
Right.
And you're right, and Brandon's right. And most real estate brokers and most real estate coaches to this day still teach people to make like 50 or 100 cold phone calls a day.
Right.
And when you mentioned, Steve, that you were making, you and your son were making 20,000 a month, I'm sure a lot of people thought, oh, that's BS. Nobody can make 20,000 calls a month. But there's these robo dialers that make calls for you. That's what I'm talking about. And then he narrowed that down to 600. And the statistics have always been, because I started that 27 years ago. I paid I won't mention the name of the coaching organization because they're still around, but it's the largest coaching organization for the last like 30 years. And his son now has a coaching organization. So anybody in real estate knows who I used. So he trained me to make cold phone calls, and I did it, and it worked. But you got to do so many of them.
Yep.
And then I ran into BannerSeason. I ran into another company before that. I used it, and it totally changed. I never made cold phone calls at all. But if you can, Steve, go into just a little more detail about what you send them and what market are you working. Is it expireds? Is it FSBOs? Is it farm? Who are you getting these listings from?
So one of the mistakes that a lot of realtors make, and again, I came into the business with 38 years of marketing experience, okay? So, and business experience. So that put me further down the pipeline as far as knowing what I was doing. Didn't have anything to do with real estate, but at least I had some experience. I stay focused to start. Focused to start is on for sale by owners, FSBOs, okay? And what I do with them is I have designed a postcard, just the 37-cent postcard on BannerSeason, the free one, pay the shipping, one greeting card, and one giga. But to Jim's end, that I learned from you was that the importance of customizing it with a picture of their house on there. So when the people get the picture, my postcard, my greeting card, my giga, it's not about me. It's about them. They have their picture on it. Now, I'll just kind of give you one example. Here is one that's going out the door, and in the background, you can see the picture of their house that's on there. So, in almost every conversation I've had with a FSBO, I've never talked to them on the phone. I've never texted them. I've never emailed them. The first contact is, like yesterday, townhouse in Northern Virginia, where I live. The owner's in San Francisco. He's trying to sell his home from San Francisco on his own. And first thing he said to me was, gosh, I got these postcards from you. How'd you get the picture of my house on there? And I said, it's on your ad on Zillow. He goes, oh yeah, you're right. That is the picture I took. So that started the conversation. And so what I do is that I use BannerSeason every Tuesday and every Friday. So I start out on Tuesday with a greeting card, Friday postcard, Tuesday postcard, Friday postcard. And it's the same thing over and over. I don't change it once I set it up, and I just rotate that. 2 contacts a week, every week.
So now, just for explanation, you're doing Tuesday, and you're doing Tuesday and Thursday, or Tuesday and Friday, would you?
Tuesday and Friday.
Now, do you set a campaign up that goes out those days, or do you actually get in there on Tuesday and Friday and create another card to send to them?
That's the beauty about BannerSeason, okay? You set up the product with their picture of their house, put their address in. do all that, and then you set up the campaign. I set up my campaign based on the value of the property. The cheaper the property, probably the quicker it's going to sell. So I set them up on a shorter campaign. So a house 250 to 500,000, I will set them up on a 4-week campaign, meaning greeting card, postcard, 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 greeting card, postcard, postcard, postcard. A more expensive house will go on 6 weeks, and a real expensive house, close to $900 to $1 million, goes on an 8-week program. About in the middle of that program, I will add in a giga. Okay, I used to lead with the giga, and then I realized I was spending $5 for nothing. Okay, they got to kind of get a little bit ripe before they give up. So the nice thing about Banner Season, you go in, you set it. The reason I ship on Tuesday and Friday, it allows me to go online on the day before to see if they're still available. If they're not available, I can get on Banner Season and cancel those mailings, saving that money.
There's a couple brilliant things you said there, and I want to kind of reiterate it so anybody who watches this understands. Steve creates a campaign within Banner Season. It's customized, and it's not the same card that goes out each time. The first might be a postcard, the second might be a 5x7 greeting card, and the third might be a gigagram, and then he could add anything he wanted. And with Banner Season, if he wanted, like with those high ends, he could throw in brownies, customized brownies with a photo of their house on there.
Yeah.
But one of the things you said that was brilliant was you're working mainly for sale by owners, and there's a shorter time span there on the hot market. The hot market all over the country right now is like 200 to 300. And in a place like Northern Virginia, where there's little higher end homes, that would go up to 500,000. If it's priced anywhere near reasonably, it's going to sell very quickly. So he's right in making those a shorter campaign and getting those cards out quicker. And all across the country, the luxury homes are moving slower.
Yep.
And so the other thing I want to point out is with For Sale by Owners, his campaign is just about right. They're getting a couple cards a week from him. If you're a realtor who works expireds like I do and like I also coach FSBOs, but expireds, you can't work them once or twice a week. They have to be worked every day. If I were to set up an expired campaign, I'd set up a different card to go to them every single day, because an expired is going to make a decision a whole lot quicker who they're going to relist with.
Yep, I agree. I'm not a big fan of expires. In my market, if something doesn't sell, you're inheriting a problem that you might not know about. But I since then now have set up a great program on Banner Season for absentee owners. I've set that up.
Explain what an absentee owner is. I know, but explain it for everybody who may not.
Sure. So an absentee owner is somebody who has a rental property. That's the short of it. It's an investment property that they rent out. They're absent. They don't live in that property. So give you an idea, in the Northern Virginia area, which encompasses Northern Virginia, probably about 75 miles, I have 15,000 absentee owners in this area. And so what we do is we email them, find out who's interested, and then as they respond to us, I give them the information by email, but then set up a follow-up plan with them with Banner Season, based on the information. Oh, I'm not going to sell for 2 years. Okay, I'm going to send you a postcard every other month, with that. Also with Banner Season, I have expanded out now that anybody that sells with me automatically gets a 4-pack of brownies twice a year, about 6 months apart. I also have set up now my complete listing presentation, what I leave behind when I go on a listing. And, this is just the giga. This is the giga with my listing presentation that I leave there. If I have at least 4 days before my appointment, I will get on Banner Season and customize it with the people's house that I'm going to go see. So this particular one, my appointment's on Friday. I'm trying to get their $800,000 listing. Here's their house on it. And
think about that. I want to talk about that just for a second, Steve, because hold it up again while I talk about it. Hold that card up.
Yeah.
Everything that I said before Banner Season and what most realtors They're bringing that same type of brochure, but it's all about that company and that company's logo and all about that company. And you see how small his logo is on the front of that. Show him the front again. He's got a very small logo, and the house takes up the entire front of the card. Now that is really powerful, because if they have multiple agents that they're interviewing, and that's the envelope, I mean, that is powerful stuff, Steve. It is.
You know, so I liked it so much, the Giga. I did my listing presentation, and so I just ordered 10 of them, had them send them to me.
I've never thought of that, but I love it. I absolutely love. You have your listing presentation on the inside of that.
Yeah, and I just pass it out. Then I realized if I've got the time, customize it. And
Yep.
so this will be in the envelope when I get done with the appointment, and I'll go, oh, by the way, everything I just did is in this, and oh yeah, I put your photo on that. You don't know how hard and how long that took me this morning at home to do this for you.
That's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to open this up to questions, but not now. Very quickly, I'm going to share my screen so anyone who has not seen some of these products can see them very quickly. And I'm going to go through these pretty quickly, but this is a recording, so it will be on my YouTube page, Jim McCord. And the key thing that you can do with BannerSeason is you can be different than all the other realtors, and that's exactly what works. This is the kind of information that the other realtors are either mailing out or dropping off to for sale by owners and expireds. And this is the kind of stuff we can do. This is a 5x7 card. Now imagine that's your house, and your house is for sale by owner or expired, and you're getting all these phone calls. So you open up, in this case, with these 3 items, you open up a box, and on the top, on the inside, is that card with a photo of your house on it. And you open up the card, and there's where the message is. The offer is from the realtor about, you know, I'm different. We'd love to meet with you and talk about why your house hasn't sold. And then below that card is a coffee mug if you choose to do it. And then you can also add brownies. Now, when I coach agents, I don't coach them to spend, this is about a $25 packet. And that's cheap. You know, if you had to send 10 of those out and you spent $250 on 10 of them and you got a $500,000 listing that you made $15,000, was it worth spending that $250? My God, yes, it was. So this is another example. And like Steve had said, you can, not only with the 8.5 by 11 giga cards, but with the 5x7 cards, you have an option of designing the envelope. Yeah. This was a home down in Florida. And your listing is expired. Are you satisfied with your previous realtor? And then on the inside is my message, or that realtor's message. And then on the envelope that they received in the mail is their house also. I mean, that is powerful stuff. And I don't know, we didn't talk to Steve, I'm sure. I think he did say he's sending it for thank you gifts. But, you know, anybody who buys a home from any realtor should get a thank you gift. And if you give them thank you gifts, and the card has the photo of their home on it, and you send them 1 or 2 mugs. I usually send 2 with the photo of their house on it. They keep those. I mean, it's powerful stuff. Yep. With BannerSeason, there's dozens of items that you can customize. And one of the ones that I love most for a gift, for a closing gift, and I typically send this box and the gifts inside to myself ahead of time, and I walk into closing with the box. And it has their house. I sold this house 3 different times. And the last time I brought this box into closing and handed to the buyers after the closing. You know they're going to keep, and that box costs $3.74. That's the total cost of that box. This was the thank you card that was in that box. My message was on the flip side. I sent them 2 coffee mugs and some brownies and a $25 Home Depot gift card. And you see on the brownies there is a photo of their home and a message. Thanks for working with me to purchase your awesome home, with my signature. And here's the cost of all that. Incredible. $3.74 for the box, $10.99 for each mug, $7.49 for the custom 4-pack of brownies. Postcards free. Not only is this one free, but you send unlimited postcards free. You pay postage only. There's no postage since this went in a box. And then the $25 Home Depot cards, $25, and there's a $2 service charge on gift cards. $17 to ship that. So for $77.70, they got all these customized gifts. And that is so much better than any type of thank you gift that I had given all my previous years. So powerful. Cindy Shetterly is the top agent in our market. She creates a box like this, and she puts the gifts in the box. And she wants her name and her team's name on the top of the box with her mission. Cheryl Mamo is another top agent in our market. She's a Coldwell Banker. She created this box to put her gifts in and brings that into closing. And again, you can put the house on the box. I use these. This is where I'm at right now. I'm actually in Juarez, Mexico, visiting these grandchildren. And the youngest one had her 1-year birthday like 3 months ago. And she got this box with gifts in it from me. So powerful. And golf balls, if you have either a client, past client, a current client, or a prospect that you know golfs, and you send them golf balls, not with your logo on it, but with their logo or information about, sorry about that. They absolutely love this. It's such a powerful, powerful tool. You can design not only the golf balls, but the box, the sleeve that the balls come in. And I like to throw this in to let people know, because I think, like, even when I first started Banner Season, I thought you could just throw a photo on a mug and that was it. And that's what I did for my first 10 or 20, and they were phenomenal, and I was ecstatic. And as I continued to use the system, I realized that mugs are just like the cards. It's a blank slate. It's like Photoshop. You can do whatever you want on these mugs. So I throw that in just so everyone knows you can create any type of mug you like. We have water bottles. That's our oldest daughter. She's a type 1 diabetic coach. Cindy uses this product. She's the one I said before is #1 agent in our market. Everybody who bought a house, everybody she's ever worked with gets a birthday card, kind of like Steve was talking about setting his FSBOs up in the campaign. She uses the birthday campaign, which Banner Season gives you, and then you can change that campaign, the card, any way you want it, which is what she did. And she added to that card, that birthday campaign card, 2 brownies. So everybody she has ever worked with, buyer, seller, whether they bought or sold or not, she puts them in, and everybody in all 14 years gets a birthday card with 2 delicious brownies. Now, if you've seen any of my other presentations, you'll think, well, she used to send $5 Starbucks gift card, and she did, but she changed that just like a month ago, and now she doesn't send a gift card. She sends brownies instead of the Starbucks gift card. I'm not going to play that. Well, actually, I will play that. Hopefully, we can all hear it.
Hi, I'm Cindy Shetterly with Keller Williams, and we are a team that help every 24 hours.
Yeah.
And Cindy is like phenomenal. She's the #1 agent. She's my biggest customer also in Banner Season, but she said it's the best marketing she's ever done. And, you know, Steve, you may not even know this. I know you haven't been around too long, but I love this. When Banner Season, as a gold member, you can build your own mailing list. And then you can send whatever you want to that mailing list. But for this example, you could pick sellers. It's truly like any other large mailing list company. They affiliated with one of the largest companies. But for this example, I selected renters only with a credit score of 650 or higher in one particular zip code. And with the gold package, you send postcards out, unlimited free. You pay postage only, which is 37 cents. So imagine sending this card out to a bunch of people who rent, because interest rates are lower than ever, and it is a great time, and most likely they can't afford to buy. And then on the flip side is your name, and you'll see I have first name up there in brackets. Our Banner Season system pulls all those 309 names out and adds in their first name. I don't have to do that. It's customized. So this is the site. You do it on a Banner Season. You just click on your address book, and then you click on build a mailing list, and you make your selections. And for this one, like I said, from the bottom up, I selected renters only, and 41071, that's one zip code, Newport, Kentucky, with a credit score of 650 or higher, income of 30,000. And it showed me there were 305 of those. To buy all those names and addresses cost me $28.82. So you buy those and they get downloaded into your address book. And then I attach that card to that campaign, and that first mailing cost me $141.77 to send customized postcards to 305 different renters with credit scores of 650 or more. Now, just very briefly, I shared this, or Michelle Mamo, the Coldwell Banker agent, saw this about 6 weeks ago. And she called me up and she said, is that true? Can you really do that? Because she was a gold member and she loves it, but she didn't know about this. I said, yeah. She customized and sent out 1,100 postcards to renters. And within 3 weeks, I forget if it was 4 or 5 renters, she already had pending on new purchases. So, and the other thing to keep in mind is once you buy these names and addresses, you have those in you can mail a postcard to them every month, every quarter, whatever you'd like. Same postcard or a different postcard, or like Steve does, you can set up a campaign of different cards. So like Steve mentioned my book earlier, it's so powerful. I wrote a book, it's called Revolution Real Estate Sales. Do not go to Amazon. Go to BannerSeason.com to buy this book. It's only $7.99. The book on Amazon is the first version, and it's not updated with this marketing company. So if you're not familiar with BannerSeason, if you use it as a realtor, it truly will be the best marketing you have ever done. And please contact the person who invited you here or who sent you this video to get an invitation code, because you do need an invitation code.